Hello friends, it's Grace and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a review of an arc that I recently read, What Moves the Dead by Kingfisher, which comes out in early July. So this is a horror novella that is expecting publication on July 12th by Tor. And I was so kindly approved for this on NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, which is what I'm here doing, especially because I really enjoyed it. I like to do video reviews for that kind of book. So before I get into the novella itself, what I want to address, and of course something that most people will probably go into this picking it up like as a factor in their choice to pick it up, is the fact that this is a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. And so I did reread The Fall of the House of Usher just immediately before going into this novella because I wanted to remind myself of it. I have read it before, but it's been a couple years, so I wanted that refresher. And so The Fall of the House of Usher appeals to me because of the mystery and the atmospheric, like creepy vibes, and I really like that. But the thing that the original story doesn't really do, because it's so short of course, is delve into too much depth for the characters, and it also doesn't really provide you a concrete conclusion. It leaves that quite open-ended. And I don't mind that in the original story. But in contrast, What Moves the Dead does kind of provide you with some of those things, and I thought that that was really awesome and really appropriate for the modern retelling. So I'm just going to quickly give you the synopsis for What Moves the Dead before I jump into my full-on review. So it says, when Alex Easton, a retired soldier, receives word that their childhood friend Madeline Usher is dying, they race to the ancestral home of the Ushers in the remote countryside of Ruritania. What they find there is a nightmare of fungal growths and possessed wildlife surrounding a dark, pulsing lake. Madeline sleepwalks and speaks in strange voices at night, and her brother Roderick is consumed with a mysterious malady of the nerves. Aided by a redoubtable British mycologist and a baffled American doctor, Alex must unravel the secret of the House of Usher before it consumes them all. And this is a great synopsis because it gives you what you should expect without telling you the outcomes of these things. So I am overall not going to say too much about this novella because it is so short. But the thing that I really liked about it is how well it captured the original story, the atmospheric vibes of the House of Usher and this old decrepit manor house that is like very unsettling. But it also provided you with character interactions and characters that feel a little bit more relatable and modern while still being true to the characters that existed in the original short story. And it combines these things along with an explanation. And obviously I'm not going to tell you what that explanation ends up being, but a lot of this just remains a mystery in the original story about what was actually happening to the House of Usher. The house figuratively, as in the people, and the physical House of Usher, and why it was deteriorating the way that it was. So here we have a little bit of a fantasy world where there are some fantastical elements thrown in, like unfamiliar countries and unfamiliar customs, like the type of sworn soldier that our main character Alex Easton is. There are like different sets of things that tell you that you're not in the real world, but you're in something very close. So there is, I think, an individualistic nature that is added. I think that it's a positive because it makes this stand out on its own. It's not just a straight up retelling. So I can see people not necessarily loving that. I would say that your mileage may vary, but for me, I thought that this was the book setting itself apart from its origins and being its own thing. So I really liked that. Another thing I'll say is that I really liked the spooky factor. I think that it was done really well, and the balance between the mystery and the resolution of the mystery was done really well because Even though you get an explanation, getting the peek behind the curtain doesn't ruin what we saw earlier, if that makes sense. Sometimes an explanation can make everything suddenly very mundane, but I thought that that unraveling was done really well in the fact that the whole thing still feels unsettling, and I was reading this alone at night and like questioning my decision to do so. So I know that people have way different thresholds when it comes to horror again, but in my personal opinion, I think that the horror elements were done really well. So usually in my reviews, I'm a lot more structured and I like to talk about certain things, but because this was so short, I felt like everything was kind of working in concert at the same time, and I read this in a day. So rather than breaking it down and looking at it so analytically, I kind of just wanted to give you these few main points that I really enjoyed about the book and allow like everyone to kind of go into it not knowing too much as well, because it is so short. It's only 170 something pages long. It is super easy to read. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It provides you with, in my opinion, a really nice mystery, a really nice conclusion, and this was like a really solid 4.5 stars for me. I did sleep on it. I didn't think it was a full 5 stars, although if it sticks with me, I could be persuaded to increase my rating, but 4.5 stars still means that I loved it, and I would definitely recommend this, and I think that I might be buying myself a physical copy of it as well, because I could see myself rereading it. So I hope that this was a little bit short and sweet, just like the book itself, and that this was a little bit informative for you, and I would definitely recommend, like I said, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I have my Discord, Patreon, and socials links in my description if you are interested in any of that stuff. So with that said, I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!